Hi guys, Marian here. Welcome back to my channel. I am a Jewish mom and I share content here all about living my Jewish life. And from time to time, I like to comment on Jewish cultural happenings going on. And when the movie You People premiered on Netflix, I couldn't wait to watch it and share some thoughts and feelings with you guys. Speaking of thoughts, this is my new shirt. There are probably 1% of you guys who will appreciate this and 90% who will be like, that's very out of character for you, Marian, but you know what? We're going controversial in this video, so let's jump in. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Marian. I make videos about being a Jewish mom, and I would love to have you as one of my subscribers. All you have to do is hit that button down below. All right, so You People came out on Netflix, and shortly afterwards, there was a slew of controversy about it, and a lot of really popular Jewish accounts claimed that it was anti-Semitic. As a Jewish person online, I think it's extremely important to advocate and to point out whenever there is anti-Semitism, but I think we do need to be cautious about labeling anything and everything anytime a Jew is featured in the media as anti-Semitic, because what it does is it dilutes that term. By calling any portrayal of a Jewish person anti-Semitism, then when there are real acts of anti-Semitism, which there are right now, unfortunately, it just loses the weight of that word. That's a whole another discussion. But I wanted to get into, do I think this film is anti-Semitic, and what do I think of it in general? And my answer is no, I really don't think this movie is anti-Semitic at all. If anything, I think it has a really negative portrayal of the Black and Muslim community because, a little bit of spoilers in this, but basically there's a couple who are dating. The woman is Black and the man is white and Jewish, and this is all like Jonah Hill's dream project. I think he directed it, he stars in it. I personally like Jonah Hill and his comedy, but the idea is they focus on the conflict between the two families. And the Jewish family is portrayed as this like super wealthy, very LA, liberal Jewish family, and they're extremely over-the-top welcoming of his new girlfriend, fiance, but in a way that's so awkward. So for example, in the first meeting, Jonah Hill's mom in the movie, who's played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus, right away is like, so I just want to talk about police brutality. It's like, you know, it's very cringy, but it's very funny. And it actually, for me, hit very, like, I know a lot of very like woke liberal Jews who maybe are not that extreme, like they would know to, you know, not bring up topics in such an awkward way, but who like are so passionate about showing how anti-racist they are that it's like awkward, if that makes sense. Whereas Jonah Hill's girlfriend in the movie, who's played by the gorgeous Lauren London, her family is like extremely against the two of them being together, and they're very like just aggressively against Jonah Hill's character and the fact that they're together. So in my mind, although it's making fun of Jonah Hill's Jewish parents in the movie, in every scene they are made out to be like the most welcoming, supportive, encouraging, loving parents. They just are really over the top and awkward, and they fumble and make mistakes and say things, you know, like they're trying too hard, basically. That's the whole comedy of it. Versus her parents in the movie, who are like actively, you know, trying to sabotage things and talk about, you know, how, like, just purposely bring up topics to offend Jonah Hill's character. So if anything, I think that those communities would be way more offended than the Jewish communities. Some of the points that have been brought up online about why this film is anti-Semitic really blows my mind, and I have to jump into it. Number one, so the movie touches on Louis Farrakhan and some of like the horrible things he said, and people who watch the movie are saying that it like normalizes him. It absolutely doesn't. Like, he's mentioned for a hot second, and the whole time they're talking about him, Jonah Hill's parents in the movie are talking about how offensive what he has said about Jews is. So it in no way like normalizes his rhetoric or anything like that. It makes the point that he's said negative things about Jewish people. The other comment that they make is that Black people and Jewish people actually have this long history of, you know, symbiotic relationship, and we've done so much good together as communities. And I will say, I don't think that the film is in any way like anti-Semitic, but it definitely makes it seem like Jewish people and Black people have never met each other. Like the way that they show this in the movie, it's like the two groups have never seen each other before. And it also takes place in LA, and it's like Jonah Hill's character walks into like a very African-American barbershop type of setting, and it's like he's never been there, he's never been in a Black restaurant, like anything like that. Whereas like the truth is, in LA there's lots of cultural overlap, if that makes sense, that there's no way like that there wouldn't be, you know, more interaction between these two communities. So I will say it kind of, you know, is an exaggeration in that way, but I don't think in any way, again, that it's anti-Semitic in that portrayal. It just is a true like comedic over-exaggeration of the reality. Ultimately, whether this film does any good or any harm, I don't know, honestly. I mean, I think it's just a comedy. I don't think it does much. It's not an Oscar-worthy film. It's funny at times, but it's like a very heavy-handed and like a little too much. The comedy is like, they make the entire film about how these two families like cannot get along, and it's like just too much, you know what I mean? So I will say it wasn't like my favorite movie of all time by any means, but I wanted to comment it and just to say that I think when we call something anti-Semitic, it's important that we use that term when it's really justified, and I didn't see any negative, even negative portrayal of Jewish people in this film. So that is my hot take on it. Have you seen it? What do you think? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll be back with more content to come, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the thumbs up button if you like this video. See you in the next one. Bye!